evening, everybody. How's it going? Alrighty, let's see here. DJ, thanks for sending me that message. I appreciate that. Alrighty, let's see here. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Alrighty, 1 second, everybody. Let me change this screen up here. 1 second. All right, there we go. Alrighty, so let's go check on our stream here. All right. Alrighty, how's everybody doing tonight? Where is... Okay, I couldn't find the YouTube stream. Like, I was trying to find all of my... There we go. Okay, we're good to go. Alrighty. Jeez Louise. What's up, Fredo? First. All right. Thanks, Tate. That's really nice. I don't know what to say. Fix my mic real quick. Yikes. My stand is flopsy right now. Look at this wreck right now. I'm sorry, guys. Stay up. This is what happens when you shop on Amazon. All right, perfect. Stay there. Okay. All right, we're about to get to our news here. What do I think PFE is doing in the next couple weeks? We'll take a look at it. I'm holding skills, also USO puts and PayPal calls. We'll take a look at those on Omar. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and kick things off with just a simple recap of today's price action. Let's see here. Sorry, I had a couple things I had to get done today. We got a couple of Discord bot coming in with live flow, dark pool. It's got a AI bot. So it's got pretty much all the good stuff that we like to look at insider buying, and that's going to be coming in straight to the Discord. So pretty excited about that because a lot of these flow services cost a pretty penny. God, this is so aggravating. All right, I think we're good now. Sorry, you guys are probably like seasick right now. Can I check out ever? Yeah, spicy. Yeah. If you guys will hold, I'm gonna skip the whatever you guys have put out right now. Hold your guys' request just for. I haven't seen your setup since the day you set it up on live. I'm gonna pass on showing it right now. It's a little bit. There's construction stuff to my left. Tomorrow. But if you guys will wait for the request, I will get to them after I do a recap and we take a look at our plays for tomorrow. Oh, yes. Thank you. Okay. All right, let's get to it, everybody. So pretty exciting day. Those of you who joined us this morning were able to get some on YouTube. You guys were able to catch some of that AMD. Some of you guys caught some of that Roblox. Those of you who swung Facebook and Microsoft, we did have a little bit of faltering with that original price action, but we were able to get back in for 355s and leave some runners, and that was a over 100% play. Same thing with Roblox, so that pretty awesome day. Microsoft, really tight price action, gave us a chance to go ahead and exit that trade for green. Those of you, I know a couple of you told me, DM'd me and let me know that you got out of that trade in the green. So pretty much stayed in the, above that range before falling later in the day. So, but anyway, so going over the news. Right now we're dealing with a lot more confusing economic woes, if you will. But right now, or looking back, let's see. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong headline. So looking back on today, we gave up most or some of yesterday's gains, but still holding up strong. The Russell pulled back the most, though, pulling back 1.23%. Rolly called those puts, and you guys ended green on those ones. What's up, Robert? What am I drinking, G? Oh, coffee. Again. A mess right now, y'all. I'm like spilling shit. What's up? How's it going? I'm sorry. All right. So, so anyway, stocks, yeah, pretty much pulled back. Not too bad. We kind of stayed in range. Tech and communications did in green. XLK climbed up 2.8, or basically 0.28%. While XLC, the communications ETFs, continued up 0.20%. No, this is caffeinated. Robinhood ripped 50% to all-time highs and was halted several times today. If you guys caught, if you're drinking caffeinated coffee at 8 p.m. instead of Bang, what are you doing? I can't do it, man. I'm a naturalist to some extent. You guys wait until I whip out my Bombilla and my yerba mate. That's a whole new level of natural. Anyway, so if you guys took Georgie's Hood entry, you guys are up well over 100% on equity, which is an amazing return, or at least you were. I know a lot of you guys got out of that trade, but Bitcoin has been trading positive for the first time in 4 days. Bitcoin bounced back up 3.8%, and Ethereum up 8%. Some movers today. We had BNTX pop at about 17.8%. COMPX popping up 17.8%. Yes, I will go over CCI. And BYSI more than doubled. That was for that lung therapeutics. So closing prints today, S&P down 0.46%, NASDAQ up 0.13%, thank goodness. The Russell down 1.28%, and the Dow Jones down 0.98%. So a lot of range plays. Didn't lose too much of yesterday's gains, so hopefully we stay bullish. We had some earnings today. General Motors missed its Wall Street profit estimates, but boosted its 2021 outlook. EPS was $1.97 per share versus the $2.09 and 23 cent per share estimate. No, I have not gone over Roblox, but we will go over Roblox. Those of you who are either in swing trades on that one or whatever. So Roku slipped 8% in extended hours trading after the company missed analyst forecast on key measures. Their EPS was 52 cents per share versus the 12-cent per share estimate. Revenue was 645 million, up 81% year over year. Active accounts was up at 55.1 million compared to the 56.2 million estimate. Roku is up 26.5% year to date. Uber's income more than doubled. Shares face planted after active users counts fell short of expectations. EPS was 58 cents versus the 51-cent estimate. Revenue was 3.93 billion, up 105% year over year. Gross bookings 21.9 billion, up 114 year over year. They fell 6% in after hours. So a lot of the movement that we saw today from the market was due to Fed worries, speculation around job numbers, and of course the new Delta variant world tour. We also have the Delta variant plus, and I think after that they have the Delta Pro Max. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, those were highly effective in causing the market to chop around. And if we go and look at our economic calendar going into tomorrow, now this is, if you guys don't have this website saved, you should, because this is a really, really important, it just gets straight to what you need to know, and it updates live. So you can just refresh your page around the time that these come out, and they usually are updated. So tomorrow, and it actually gives you trading impact, right? So if you're not familiar with what, and it's okay if you don't know what the hell some of this stuff means. I have to ask Atlas sometimes, you know, what some of these mean or what their implications are. But this is pretty successful in giving you an idea of the impact that it will have. So initial claims and continuation claims come out at 8:30. So these are before the bell. And these are things that, you know, if we have a highly impactful day, swinging into a day like this, probably not the greatest idea. You know, unless you have an inkling or you're following the money because you believe somebody, you know, with a big pockets knows something you don't, then that's different. But going into tomorrow, we have trade balance, initial claims, continuing claims, and EIA natural gas inventories. These two, trade balance and the EIA natural gas, are low on trading impact, but the continuing claims and initial claims do have high impact. But fortunately, we'll receive that information before the bell so we can see how that's going to affect the market. That being said, it's the day before all of this information that is extremely impactful. So we have average work week, average hourly earnings, unemployment rate, non-farm private payrolls, and non-farm payrolls. So this is all of our job information, and this is going to give us an idea on what the Fed may do going forward. And so, I mean, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as far as tapering is concerned. But you have, wow, yeah, quite a bit. And then you have wholesale inventories and consumer credits. All in all, I think that going into the day before that, we can expect that volume to be relatively low. It's like, all right, are we going to put our money into, you know, what could potentially be a turning point, or at least, you know, a catalyst to break us to the downside. So anyway, we have not only that, besides that data coming in, we have a plethora of earnings coming in tomorrow. If we weren't with us earlier today, or earlier this morning, we went over a couple of these things. So looking at the earnings calendar going into tomorrow, we have here Turtle Beach Corporation. They do the headphones and stuff like that, gaming headphones, whatnot. I'm sure somebody more educated on that can probably fill you in more. Space, that one is a highly anticipated earnings, and I don't know why, because they're probably not going to report a profit. I mean, maybe what they did by selling shares, that could have some implications as far as funding is concerned, expansion, and whatever the case may be. So I would be watching Space to go and fill its gap to the downside. But aside from Space, we have Beyond Meat, Big C, GoPro, Moderna, Fisker. I'm not familiar with a lot of these, but Novavax. I'm familiar with Novavax, BCRX, Groupon, Zynga, CLNE, Faye or whatever, FireEye, DNN, DBX, Dropbox. That's a favorite of a lot of house or insider traders. I see that one come up in block trades quite often. VLDR, all of these guys, huge earnings, but not only that, there's 507 companies, and not only that, before the bell, we have a lot of companies reporting. So I don't know what half of these are, but a ton. It's a lot that could end up affecting certain sectors. And I think we'll see the headlines, and you'll see correlating movement within certain sectors that'll give you an idea on what's positive and what's not. So taking a look at that heat map in the morning, maybe waiting a good 5-10 minutes at the bell before you actually take any positions. So and again, Friday, not very as far as earnings is concerned. We have DKNG, Canopy Growth, all of these, of course, before the bell. But again, we have a lot of that data coming in. So pretty much the end of that week ending relatively slow. And then going into the next week, it's not the end of earnings, but not a lot of big headliners going into next week. So maybe that volatility slows down a little bit. We do have Roblox, a couple of our favorites. But anyway, so besides that, big name earnings, let's take a look at Roblox. So going into tomorrow, I think most of the internet or anybody who is investing in Roblox, we caught a nice move on this one today. Good bounce off of that 77 level and going up and resting on this 50-day EMA. Now, this is well above the whole ribbon indicator. Now, this is also could be where it rests or consolidates, but you climbed above that momentum indicator. You're pretty much well above these other moving averages, including the 9, the 20 day moving average, as well as your HMA. Let's see here. Okay, so I would suspect, of course, looking at this pattern, that we would have another green day. Roblox has been in an extended downtrend since June. And I think a lot of you guys played Roblox with me, and then once it kind of fell into that downtrend, we caught a few of the moves to the downside, but that momentum has slowed quite a bit once it hit that $75 level. And you've seen it pretty much flatline here. This is a favorite of a lot of, I think Nancy Pelosi is in Roblox, Kathy. So this is a company that gets a lot of social media attention. So when it actually picks up steam, it does pick up steam, aka right here, as we've seen in a similar cycle. But I'm watching Roblox tomorrow just quite simply to right around 83, 83.25. Let's go over here to the hourly really quickly. So this is kind of that price mark that I'm watching Roblox at. That's going to be 81.85. Right of that, it's a pretty nice gap, because if you look at it, we have 81.85 and then a nice push to $83. So I'll be watching this one. I think we could see a retest tomorrow of either the 20-day EMA, which is sitting right around the $80 mark. And so I'm thinking we might get a retest of the $80 mark and then kind of bounce out here. But of course, volume is going to be the number one indicator. And for the last 2 days, we've had good volume. So pretty crucial. Set an alert around $82, probably a few cents below that. And then set alert around 80.25. Because if it gets around there, you're going to want to watch for a bounce, and especially off of that 20-day EMA. From there, if we can break over today's previous highs and volume looks good, we'll watch it to that $83 mark. But again, guys, we have a little bit more volatility as far as earnings are concerned, data that's coming out. Or at least a lot of variables, not volatility, but a lot of variables that could affect the market. So, Facebook, this one, this one was not like a long play. Like I don't think that Facebook is just going to continue to rip from here. Today was a beautiful move, really nice swing trade. Held the 9-day moving average here, finished relatively well it finished well on that 9-day moving average with the, let's see, yeah, that nice level there. You can see that this is where Facebook held previously back in July. This is also that consolidation level. So if anything, and I said this today, my target today was 360. And that's exactly, we hit 360.50 and Facebook rejected and pulled back to that 9-day moving average. The move from that rejection wasn't that strong. We didn't see like a big short come in. We didn't see a lot of volume come in. As for like we have a little bit of low volume, but towards the end of the day, we get a downtick, and then the buyers kind of stepped up and pulled that price action right back up, and we held flat right on that 9-day moving average. So I liked the price action there for possible continuation past 360 into that 362 level. Anywhere above that, I think it gets a little bit riskier. Of course, with all of these wicks here and a previous resistance here, this was a previous breakout level and a break level that we broke below on Facebook. So volume is obviously crucial today. Volume was average, so we would like to see something above average maybe would be nice, but this was also a support bounce. I think I went over that last night. There it is. So Facebook's daily support here, and I'm on the 2 hour. I can go to the 4 hour here. But this daily support here, that's where we bounced for Facebook. And if you look at there you go. If you look at the whole ribbon indicator, that's what we retested today. And the top of that whole ribbon is at 362.50. So that's why I'm thinking that's one of the price targets, or one of the marks that we could hit and reject, especially since, in retrospect, we have average volume, nothing crazy. So. Yeah, no problem. Man, getting a lot of people getting spicy with me on the internet. That's funny. Not you guys. Sorry, I'm just reading these messages really quick. Okay. Let me. Ouch. All right. So going into tomorrow, there was a couple of earnings. Let's see here. That I think we saw. What was it? Roku had earnings that could potentially be a good play tomorrow. Let's see here. Where did my charts just go? There it is. Where are you at? Yeah, so Uber and Roku are both ones that could see continued volatility tomorrow. But looking at today's earnings, Fastly, Etsy, Max R. If you go look at Etsy's movement after hours, this one just dumped so hard, right back down to 172.60. So if you look at the 4 hour, this one is back down on a supply zone. There is the potential that it goes back for a retest of 180. So I am watching Etsy for a potential bounce play. We're going to go over those earnings tomorrow morning, kind of when more people are on. There's a lot of people overseas who won't be on. So, and also I want to spend a little bit more time tonight going over the charts, and I really would like to end this around 9:45, so that way I can go to bed. But a put on mRNA 46340 strike thoughts. If you want, I'll take a look at that right here, if that's okay. That way you can actually see my chart. I feel like you can't really see my foot, or my face, and get an idea of what I'm talking about. Maybe you can, I don't know. Let's see here. Okay, so besides that one, as far as our watch list, I kind of given up on Microsoft. Today, if you go look at the 4 hour, either Microsoft is setting up to absolutely go parabolic, or I don't know. At this point, it is chopping, and and the TTM is starting to squeeze. So you are getting the TTM indicator starting to pop. This thing is being held down right there at that 287.50 level. But for some reason, I feel like the minute I look away from this thing, it's going to absolutely rip. And I really don't want to miss that. So looking at this one tomorrow, we saw today pretty much a garbage volume show. Looking at yesterday's, today's, the beginning volume today was decent, but no continuation after that, and it pretty much held divergent to the Qs. So I'm watching Microsoft. I'm gonna be patient with this one. 287.63, lots of alerts. Basically volume, just watching this one, and I think if we can push that level, we've got 288.50. But I think that if Microsoft is really squeezing down here on support, and as you guys, I mean, if you guys can't see it for yourself, there is a lot of wicks here to the downside, but it's just sitting here squeezing so hard that I think that if any volume comes in, or even if we get a reprieve on the Qs, and data is good and the market doesn't dump, then potentially we could see some solid continuation. And speaking of, kind of skipped over our major ETFs. I'm going to go over those really quickly. So with the Qs, we are moving with not very strong. I wouldn't describe it as just weak, but just moderate price action here with okay volume. I mean, it's relatively high in comparison to what we were in this consolidation, or when we were in this consolidation. But as we kind of approach this 360, did I get that right? 368.85 level, that previous all-time high on the Qs. I don't like when we approach with weak price action. So this is the 4 hour. I mean, even if you go to the daily, you can see that this candle and the momentum indicator continue to show weakness to the upside. So I'm starting to think that we are getting towards somewhat of a top on the Qs. Now, looking at this one, like, I'm trying not to be biased on it, because every time you get biased in the market, you tend to lose money. But let's see here. Let's go down to the 4 hour. That's not a good example. So I was looking at this earlier, and one of the reasons why I think that we could see Microsoft pop is because if you look at the Qs, they also are holding on to this support here really strongly. And let me delete this pennant lines really quick. Okay, so really heavily consolidated here. This could be our potential resistance. So let's see, 371. 371. So if we, and I don't think that tomorrow could be between the next 2 days, or even in going into next week, we could see a slow climb here up into that 271, 272 level. Otherwise, if this continues to get held down, or we double top around 368.85 and completely reject that because we have such weak price action right now, then I would speculate that that this would be an ending point for the Qs, and it would begin to pull back. Anyway, on SPY, not the coolest price action I've ever seen. Kind of looks like a weird head and shoulders, or like maybe even a triple top. You have it actually reminds me of Aapl at 135, but you have multiple rejections here. 1, 2, 3, and 4 rejections at that 441 level. And so there is the chance that we see or start to see a pullback here. If you go out to the daily, it has more of an appearance of a flag, but there is no volume. So with I don't know. The market's not looking great right now, and with earnings not really sparking any type of movement. And I think that last week I talked about how the market could just chop during this earnings week. And as you can see on SPY, we have yet to break range. We've stayed in range, and so after this week, it's going to be really pivotal that job numbers, economic data comes out in our favor. Otherwise, I don't think the earnings has enough juice to pull us back up. And at a minimum, I would say that SPY goes and retests back down into the 430s. So Moderna, yeah. So I'm taking people's requests. Okay. So IWM, we talked about this one last night. I thought we could end up getting a bounce, especially after we ended the day yesterday. But IWM saw a really strong pullback to that same level, right around the 217.85. So anywhere below that, around 217 break, I would speculate that the IWM, and Rolly said this today, Top Shelf, he basically said that if we get around the 214 to 212 level around and break those levels, that the whole market will likely flush. Not flush, but pull back with it. So, and I have to agree, anywhere around those price targets, and we don't get a good bounce, then I would speculate that we might see a pullback in the markets, and you can see that weak price action for sure. So. Okay. Wait, what? Sorry guys, I'm having one of those nights. I apologize. Stupid. Sorry about that. All right. Well, I'm sorry that I just explained all of that. Hopefully, you guys can look at your charts. Ridiculous. All right. Anyway, so talk about the TTM squeeze here on Microsoft. I'm watching that one above 288. If we hit 288, I think we rip and we go into the 290s. So Microsoft, don't sleep on it. If Q's pop, Microsoft pops. And I think I was going over IWM. So we had this kind of rising wedge here. I'm not quite sure if we are either extending this pattern, so it's highly possible that we get another bounce tomorrow. So it's, I would say, set a nice downtrend here and watch IWM above 220.50. Otherwise, this thing is probably going to see the 216 level relatively soon. And again, we talked to Rolly today, and he described the possibilities of the market pulling back if IWM reaches those levels. So, otherwise, we have the Dow. Guys, the Dow, the IWM, all of these things, just crazy, choppy price action right now. Things are looking very toppy. So, and right now, I would speculate that even this very small gap could get filled here on the Dow. Right now, it looks like the Dow is resting at the 50-day EMA, so I would watch this one to potentially push down to this, let me see, 345.76, 345.75, excuse me, is potentially where we could see the Dow price action bounce. So, alrighty, now, if you guys want to go ahead and go ahead and drop your charts. I feel like someone's going to ask for Tesla, so if you want Tesla, there's Tesla for you. Watch Tesla to go retest 714 tomorrow. This one's gonna have a little, if it breaks, I don't know, I don't like these wicks up here. Looking very toppy itself. Is that a ticker ever? Ever? Is that a ticker, Fredo? Tired. Sorry. Alright, that one. Interesting. So, I'm not quite sure what this is, but okay, so I was gonna say I'm not quite sure what they do, who they are, but looking at the price action here, and this is also depending on whether this is trading in a channel. Earnings didn't look good for them. I don't know if this is going to send them on a new downtrend, but it does look like and you could still bounce around 24 bucks and go for a retest of this resistance, but otherwise you're pretty well stuck in a downtrend channel at the moment. So the potential of a low around 20 bucks is possible, and even if it wicks somewhere in between or $18 range, it all depends on how long it takes to get down there, and you can't time the market, but it does look like it potentially could see the bottom of this channel, which The bottom of this channel goes, I would say, $17, you know, and that would be somewhere in the middle of August, that we could see that if it continues to fall. Like I said, I don't know the earnings. I don't know if they did well. If you look at the hourly here, you do get a deadpan bounce there at 25. So maybe just watch it for, let's see, 4 hour. Gap, it didn't gap. So, yeah, so I mean, watch this one. I would say above $26, that 50-day EMA here. Let me go to the hourly. Yeah, so $26, 26.15, and then I would say if it's positive and it's on its way to recovery, a simple retest of the 50-day, which is 27.50, and then also that 28.50 level could come into play as well. Tesla and Neo, for sure. Zoom and NVIDIA. Thank you guys for consolidating your requests. That's tight. Okay, so Zoom. I'm sorry, I'm so tired, guys. Kids just starting school, schedules being built, routines. Just coming out of last year, there was no routines. Our routine was just basically homebound. So it's been a lot of adjusting, a lot of caffeine. A lot of spilling coffee on my keyboard. Nice job, Garrett. Oh, we're just gonna live, laugh, love. That's what we're gonna do. Just kidding. Okay, so Zoom ended the day relatively well. Volume today was really, really impressive. So looking at this one on the hourly, and we did talk about this one previously, and kind of crazy that it ended up breaking out so strong. Earnings is right around the corner, August 31st. Whole ribbon indicator bounce, 9-day moving average pop. So I am speculating, especially because we ended the day with a nice bull flag, that anywhere above $400, a re-break of that $400 level with comparable volume, and I think that we see 415. And even there's even the potential of, well, I would say moderate or the previous high right here of 405.76 would be your modest target. But looking back, I say 415 if the volume is really, really high. And I think a lot of people may or may not know, but I mean, there's still quite a bit of bag holding on Zoom, you know, from when it ripped all the way to what the hell, yeah, 500. And we played Zoom all the way up. And yeah, it just completely reversed. Now with the COVID variant picking back up and with work from home becoming a part of work, Zoom is not just video conferencing. They do more now. Charlie Munger's bullish on them. So all in all, I mean, the company obviously has a brighter future than just hyped up Skype. But obviously that 407.65 level is where we could potentially see a double top. And you know, a decrease in coronavirus cases could definitely adversely affect the stock price. So you are dealing with that volatility there. But we do see the volume that we want to see whenever we want to see Zoom move. So watch Zoom tomorrow. I would recommend setting alerts if you're scalping. You know, volume, price action in the morning. Watch it above 399 as it approaches 400. It's up to you whether you want to take the break or you want to get in before. Depends on where it opens up. If it gaps up, it's a whole different story. We'll go over it in the morning, but more than likely you'll see a gap fill if it's a small gap. And if it gaps up a good bit, then more than likely, if it gaps up to the double top mark at 406.87 or 407, then watch out. That's where things get sketchy for me. So let's see here. Thanks, Tate. I appreciate it. Sorry, I don't know how your message got deleted either. Sorry, I was just reading these DMs really quickly. Can someone chart mRNA? They have earnings tomorrow morning. Yeah, I'll check them out. Sorry, guys. All right. Alrighty. So let's see here. Sorry, I was just making sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, NVIDIA. So NVIDIA surprised me today. It actually broke out of this pattern here, which sometimes can usually spell a reversal, but broke out relatively well, held resistance. I think I've said this with a lot of the chip stocks. There is the potential for a retest tomorrow. Even if it's the $200 retest, you can look here on the daily. The 9-day moving average is nice and close at 202, but a retest of this previous support and the 20-day EMA, which is right around here, would probably have you around at least 201.50 or 201.65, somewhere in that range there. So watch for a quick retest or a bounce, and then potentially a leg up if we're in trend. This could pull back, right, and fake us out. So we want to see nice price action tomorrow. We have to keep in mind NVIDIA pushed up on good volume, but not insane or intense volume or anything, crazy. I think a lot of chip stocks saw some pretty good movement today. So, alrighty. I would watch this one to 204.35 tomorrow. Volume looks good. Semiconductor sector moving. You can set a mark at that 206 level. Snap. Okay, so I said something about Snap this morning, and I looked away, and then all of a sudden this thing ripped. We actually swung Snap. Hopefully this goes well. Right now the 9-day moving average is not too far behind. I like that. It broke out of a nice downtrend here. The daily looked pretty good. I think even if it just wants to go and take a quick retest of the $79 level, and if it double tops there, that's all good. I'm okay with that because it has a big gap to fill. Now that gap, it goes all the way down to the $69 level, and I think that when the market pulls back, or if data comes out Friday and is terrible, maybe we reject that high. So in between now and then, maybe we get a reprieve and we run into Friday, and then Friday we get a pullback, because I don't know if I'm expecting good job numbers, but we'll see. Mm-hmm. Right here. Okay. So end of the day, nice bull flag, HMA at 77.61. 77.61 is just a breath away from that previous all-time high around 79.15, 79.20. So I'm watching for the first level above that HMA, $78. Now volume again, guys, gonna be that indicator here. We are seeing almost like a trough that was held here, consolidation volume here, and now we're actually starting to pick up some steam with the volume as far as that's concerned. So we are watching Snapchat going into tomorrow. Hopefully we see some continuation or at least some consolidation and then a breakout towards the end of the day. We saw a crazy ass wick in after hours that took us all the way down to 72.77. So but that was a bounce right back up. I can, yeah, but you're gonna do it on there. Let's see here. those of you who were looking to get into the Discord, the free trial is through our website now. So, okay. Let's see here. Tesla and Neo. $77.38. Hold on a second. Not quite. No. Oh, are you talking about here? No, I wouldn't. I'm speculating that that's not quite. I mean, if you look at the setup here on the 4 hour two, a double top would probably occur around I think at a minimum of $78. So even if it just hits, I mean, I see your double top there, but normally it's going to be two highs or a retest of the same high. This is a lower high and a flag breakout. Now, if it ends up rejecting, it is what it is, but it does look like it could at least consolidate tomorrow or taper and then maybe pop towards the end of the day. Who knows? So, alrighty. So let's go ahead. Next request? Tesla and Neo. So I just went over Tesla. I'll go over it again. Neo. I was close. Not really. I had the same price action. If I was just right around here. Well, it still could go up. Depends. That's kind of what I was speculating here. So we do have that break in downtrend and retest here happening off that 200-day EMA. I am watching the price action on Neo, and especially ever since we exchanged that support for resistance, and I talked about that the other day on how we were holding the support relatively well, finally rejected this high at 46.75, and then we ended up closing below and retesting this support several times. So you have 1, 2, 3 wicks off of that previous support turned resistance. So I'm curious to see if anywhere below, I would say 44.55, and then that 200-day EMA, more than likely you would see anywhere 43.75, and you're going to see Neo likely retest. And if you look at it, it has a bit of a head and shoulders look to it. You don't have that rounded shoulder top, but you do have that high there. And so there is the probability below $44, below that 47 or 43.75, that we could find Neo, moving, something like this. Obviously, it's no straight lines, but so we could end up seeing a retest of this support, or this resistance turn support. So, yeah. So levels to watch on Neo is going to be 44 and 43.75, and then above that you have 46.75. And then above the whole ribbon indicator, which is basically, I would say $46, but you also have this resistance turn support, or support turn resistance that you have to kind of watch out for as well. So. Got you. Okay, Tate. Yeah, we'll watch it tomorrow and see if we get a pop. It also depends. So, Tesla. So Tesla, end of the day, rather consolidated. As you can see here, bilateral pattern into support. It's not usually what we would like to see, but it's not the worst. So consolidation going, and I will say 9 times out of 10, these bilateral patterns break out to the downside. So Tesla below 705. And really below 700, and I think that we're going to see somewhat of a reversal, probably back down to the 696 level. That's kind of what I talked about today. 695, not looking great, but we got to see a bounce. I would set these levels here, so we'd like to see a pull here and then a bounce off of that support. So this here. and that right there. And as you can see, there's 2 wicks above it. So, even though we had decent volume here, you want to see, I mean, if you're looking for continuation, you want to see really, really nice volume on Tesla. And I'm not sure if you're going to get volume like that over the next 2 days with the data that could be coming out. And if we do get it, it will be tomorrow. So if anything, we could see a fake out all the way to 725 if it does end up bouncing and breaking this level here. But otherwise, I'm seeing a potential decline in volume. You can see that at the beginning of the day, you get a nice pop, and then the drop is pretty drastic for the rest of the day, multiple. So there may be a lot of trading that happens high frequency in the morning and then completely drops off towards the end of the day. Hey, how's it going? From Australia. Nice. Your bearish big step. Oh my God, you quit your job, so next week I trade full time with you. Jeez, let's go. Okay, all right. Yeah, you see I didn't read the whole thing. So anyway, Tesla declining price action. I would watch this one below the 50, 705, 700, break for a trip down to 695. Below that, if we end up actually pulling back, I don't know, I might take a look at next week puts around 675, 678. All right. Hopefully that answers your question there. All right. What else we got, guys? Discord. Hold on. Let's see. Can I try Etsy? Yeah. Oh, wait. Did I? I thought I already did. Sorry, guys. CCI. Got you. Okay, sorry. I just making sure. All right. Yeah. What else do we got? Any other requests here? Amazon? Yeah, for sure, Tate. No problem. Did you look over my watch list? What did you think? It's not bad. Well, I wouldn't touch Amazon. Honestly, it looks like it's just going to trade in this channel 33.1858. So, I mean, you could play it for a trip down below through 33.50 down to that bottom support. It looks like it's trying to rebound. Of course, I think if I looked out on the daily, yeah, so actually that's the issue here with Amazon is actually below. Hold on, let me make sure I'm not far. Yeah, so Amazon is actually below its daily support, so it has to see a bounce here relatively soon. If it does fall back down to the support, it's going to take a lot for it to get back up. And frankly, after this drop on earnings, it's going to take a lot of umph and volume and really just positive market sentiment overall to see Amazon back in those levels. So. SimplestacksInvesting.com is where you can get the free trial. Alrighty. Amazon Gap. Let's look at the daily. What gap do you guys want to see filled? Oh, the gap above? Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see 34, 75, but right now, as long as it trades in range, actually, hold on a second. Let me see something. Let me do some adjusting just to double check. So even if I do it like that. So I tell you what, if Amazon gets 34, that's where I would take it into the gap. So yeah, I can do forward, no problem. Go ahead if you guys have any requests. If you guys will go ahead and hop right here, Simple Stacks Investing, type it in the thing. I'll take those right now. I'm caught up, so mini pin it. Let's do forward. All right, so man, everybody and their mother was in forward calls and just dumped. So channel trading. I think the numbers came out for Ford today, and of course they dumped. So I would watch Ford back down to around 1272 or 1275. I'm seeing 1275, 1250 range for Ford. This one may end up going and revisiting that 1260 level before it's all said and done. So yeah, this one broke back into its channel, and the whole ribbon indicator is now above it once more. So not good for them. Moderna, yeah, if you want to type that, are you looking at YouTube? If you're looking at YouTube, just type it in the chat and I'll do it there. Yeah, gaps don't fill immediately. Trust me, ask me and UPS, which UPS, baby. So either you stay consolidated until your moving averages catch up and then you dump, but I think UPS might get the dump relatively soon. So we're watching UPS heavy tomorrow. Yeah, real heavy tomorrow. Basically the break of 190. In fact, that's on the watch list tomorrow, potentially if we see bad numbers going into next week, because UPS has quite a gap below it. So let's see here. Yeah, but if you look at daily, daily gap here all the way to 180, so $10 drop. But then it also has a giant gap above it, which is less likely to fill at this point. So wing. Yeah, I'm taking your request here. Simple Stacks Investing on YouTube. Damn, my finger's swollen, dude. I jammed my finger. Oops. Hope I don't get banned on YouTube. Wingstop. Wow. Wingstop breaking out. So massive double bottom, really? I mean, I don't know if you even want to call it that. Maybe we go to the weekly here. Yeah, you're just, I mean, it looks like you're making a clean break, honestly, anywhere above 177.88, and this is in price exploration mode. I mean, this is crazy movement here, but it just had earnings, and now it's on its way into all-time highs. So it either clears this gap at 178 or it breaks this. And honestly, if you look at where its support is, all the way here, as much as it looks really, really bullish, it could very well reject this same level. So I would want to see a nice push above 178. But again, it kind of looks like it needs to cool down before it ends up doing that. And again, support is pretty far away. Yeah, I don't know why I All right. Anybody else? I have a request for Moderna, so I'll go ahead and do that one. Oh, I always forget that I have dyslexia, so this is where things get fishy. Okay, hourly chart. Looks like you're ending the day with a flag-ish flag. You do have the MACD, which showing some potential reversals, giving you a little sell signal here. You also have the RSI closing back in to that channel there, so you may actually see a little bit of a reversal here. It looks like it likes to go to that 43 mark on the RSI, but I would speculate at least a retest of 405 if it does pull back. Otherwise, I mean, it's pretty hefty here as far as a pullback from Moderna, and this thing usually moves relatively slow. And so I think once it starts to pull back, and you're seeing some resistance here at 433, but let's go look at the 15 minute. Okay, so this kind of paints a different story as well, kind of ending with a bear flag. Whole ribbon indicator flipping above. And again, that goes with that daily time frame. So you may see, if anything, a retest of 430 at the most. Be careful around there, because if volume is not high, then I would not take it. And then anywhere below 411.15 and that bear flag, or you have the double bottom potential, but more than likely that'll bear flag out. So, and at that point, I mean, I could see a retest of 400 pretty easily. So. All right, AMD and Square, let's take a look at them. So I talked about AMD today, guys, and I don't know if anybody heard me in the Discord, but at this point here, I drew a line. Before any of this formed, and I said, watch, AMD is going to taper back into support. So I'll just show you what I'm thinking, because I should have just drawn it earlier. Now, this is where, oh God, I make a terrible spider. That was a bad joke, I'm sorry. So AMD here, kind of taper potential. And then you have the potential for another bounce up to these highs. Volume today was the highest. Now, something that Astro will point out to a lot of people is when something's reached a top, a lot of the times the volume will be at its highest. Now, that doesn't say that AMD doesn't see higher volume tomorrow and that be the top. But if you look at SMH, which is the semiconductor ETF, Van Ector, you'll notice that this one is at support. So when you go to AMD, this one right here, it could end up gapping down or just end up pop. I mean, I'm not too certain. It could go pop tomorrow, or it could even go pop up and slide down. So maybe even, and not to try to time it, but maybe even something like that where it pops up, fakes people out, and then takes it back up this way. So either way, we'll be watching for AMD to bounce around that 116 level, 116 to 116.55. So this is speculative. Obviously, support's here, and we'll evaluate what it does there. All right, Semi and Rocket. Oh, and Square. Or Room about to choke me. Okay, so WTF, mate. All right, so the channel, man. The channel. What the hell, man? So this thing just absolutely respects the hell out of this channel. It loves it. redonkulous bounce off of support. Obviously, earnings came, and where were we? Right there at support. We talked about this as too. Pew! Immediately shot up, and it hit that resistance. So right now, we're dealing with some red candles, some choppy price action, relatively high volume. It's important to remember that Square also scratched all-time highs today. So Square is gonna need to climb and basically push above these last 2 days candles. Today you bounced off of the 9-day moving average, and if you go down here to the hourly, for me, I'd like to see somewhere around 270. A climb back above 270 for Square with good volume, and that's where I would consider taking that play. But otherwise, I think that as long as it's in this channel, you're just going to really need to evaluate price action. So draw this line with me, maybe, this little downtrend. Maybe once it climbs above. So what am I looking for? Let me explain myself a little bit more in depth here, because I feel like when I say this, it's probably not very clear to you guys, or not to everybody, but to some people who are new. So I always preach that we retest, right? These previous bounces. So where we flatline here and break, we'll usually retest. Even if it's light, we'll retest it at some point. So you get a little retest there while still respecting this 9-day moving average, which is obviously pulling us down. So for the most part, what we do is when something climbs above its previous break point and settles there, that's usually a break in downtrend. Not always, but for the most part. And so that's what I look for. And that's where you evaluate volume. That's where you evaluate the broken downtrend. Microsoft today, in retrospect, besides just being stupid, I don't even know why. There was no volume, none. And I tried adjusting my resistance multiple times to see if I had missed something, going off of these angles of the wicks. And even with that, the price action was so terrible that there was no play in this at all. So, and again, I mean, it broke that downtrend here, and it did go for that retest. Normally, you'd see a little bit of a cleaner break. This is ugly. So, all right, I'll do Disney, semi RQT, and then Disney, and I'm out. All right. Simi, so you asked, I think somebody asked me about, no, that was Symmetrix. That was Gala, I believe, who asked me about that one. I think so, anyway. Okay, so this looks like, a purely news-based catalyst so far. You do have earnings on tomorrow, apparently. So, okay, so I'll just say this about this. When you're charting before earnings, don't worry about dynamics. Now, Square, obviously, yes, in some cases, do what you do. Because that did show respect on that dynamic. But you can use linear supports like this one right here. Right? That's going to give you a better idea of where it could potentially go. Right? Previous rejection bounces, rejection points, bounces, that's where you're looking for. So right now you have what looks to be a bear flag, probably going to see more downside below 331, but earnings is on the way. So anything I say could be totally debunked or shot down based on what happens during earnings, or just opens up flat. So you're just gonna have to evaluate yourself. Did everybody in here just get hit with a commercial? That had to have happened, because like the viewers just shot. It just shot down like a huge. And then just pop back up. That was weird. Yeah, Microsoft was rough. I always grab Microsoft and it just chops around like stupid. RQT. Only when you join. I'm sorry, guys. When I monetized, you know what I thought was funny? I watched my own video, and it was like it was an ad for simpler trading. I was like, "What have I done?" I'm not here. I don't. I'll never. I don't think I'll ever pay for ads ever. Yeah. I'm not gonna. Yeah. Maybe if I'm selling a T-shirt, I wanna sell a T-shirt with just. Well, I don't want to say it online, but of course, Fredo. Have a great night. Um, See you tomorrow. I will, guys. I know I'm slacking. I have had a busy couple days. I will get back caught up on one-on-ones. So if you guys have reached out to me, um, I'm not ignoring you. I just have a lot. I'm trying to install Flow. We're about to have, like I said, Dark Pool. AI is going to come live into the into the chat. All this is coming straight into the chat. So it's been there's a lot going on. So oh, I got your what's with the winky face, Snee? Oof, sounds like a date. Golden sweeps. Big step. Oh god, I love the hot face. Have a good one, Snee. All right, so I'm gonna do the RQT real quick. RQT. Wait, hold on. What? Did I do that right? Oh wait. Hold on. Let me go. Let me go reread that. Is it RGT? And I'm just dyslexia. This is recorded, man, so you can come back and check it out a little bit later. It's like you can watch it on YouTube later. Let me see. Oh my god. Y'all are crazy. RQT, I can't find that one. Let me know. All right, Disney. This damn knee, boy, that thing failed, boy. Why didn't I short that thing? Oh my gosh. 175.32. Wow, that thing dumped all the way down to 170. All right, so I can't help but speculate that, I mean, we had this bilateral pattern here. Gap was filled. Yep, I drew an arrow and everything down there. I knew what was up. So you have like a head and shoulders here. To be honest, 169.86. Disney's not looking great, but Disney has earnings on August 12th, and they have reopened parks. They've opened parks. They're streaming. They're getting sued by that chick, Scarlett Johansson. Disney Plus videos. I don't know. Something usually happens around earnings. Again, anything I say can be completely debunked by earnings, but 167, and I mean, it could just end up using this previous support turned resistance, or resistance turned support to bounce on as it downtrends. So really, earnings anywhere below 167, you're hurting. And anywhere above 180, and you might have a chance to reclaim new highs. So, but it looks really bad, to be honest with you. So, looks like almost like a head and shoulders here. RQT, Biscotti Hottie, EQT. Oh man, EQT. Yeah, missed my dyslexia firing. I was like, nah, bro, there's got to be something that I'm missing here. Here comes some content. Wow. So you are below your 200-day moving average. It's quite simple here. If you climb above 1850, watch this one to move to 1925, maybe even just 19 on the dot. This one, whole ribbon indicator, it has stayed red. I don't know what earnings. I don't know what this does. But if earnings was positive and you believe that this is a potential dip buy out of this supply zone, then you could see a potential run back into the $20 level, maybe going out into the end of August, or yeah, I would say the end of August if this thing decides to bounce and wick up. I would say $20 is my mark. Maybe $20.15, and that's not. It depends. Does it break out there? So right now it's in a downtrend. I did AMD. I covered that one on my YouTube live. So if you check that one out, I covered AMD as well. So, okie dokie, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be on tomorrow morning, 8:45. I might be on a little bit earlier to, if I can get some sleep, to pre-market trade some penny stocks. So if you guys trade equity, yo. I thought that Nadim Haj, I don't know if that's Haji. I thought he said Disney, please. I have a family. Like, I could have sworn that's all that message said. And I was like, yo, why am I holding you hostage with my analysis? I'm sorry. I've been holding that laugh in for a minute. Disney, please, I have a family. I'm gonna make a whole meme to that. I'm screenshotting that right now. I'm sorry. Alright, I'm done. If you guys go look at live trading chat, the Discord, if you guys are in. Look what I just posted. Oh my god. All right, guys. Have a good night. I'm sorry. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.